You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. You know, I watched back that clip. And yeah, you really did scare me with that first one pretty bad.
Well, because I had just put it in, trimmed it, and then
Yeah.
that was it. Didn't test out
So scared
the levels or
scared
anything.
the dickens out of me.
That was, if you haven't seen it, go to our social media or our YouTube and watch that right now. It's called Next Door Drama. Started to do a segment. We made it into a clip.
And we're going to jump right into... No, just kidding.
And we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Yeah, it's man, that was so funny.
Whenever I was running the captions for that on TikTok, I was like, it was really funny how TikTok, because you can't understand what I'm talking about. You can't understand what I'm saying because I'm talking so quiet. And
Does it automatically put captions
Yeah, it
on
does, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was going in and editing them and trying to listen to it, and I was like, what am I saying?
I mean, you don't have to. I appreciate you doing that. But
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You know, I'm all about accessibility on here.
Right. And let's get right into accessibility.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And I'm pretty happy with how I edited it too. Like, I did it kind of quickly, just one night, just sat down and jammed it out.
The beans.
Yeah, the beans. I knew I was going to put that in there. Did you like the terrible Jesus tattoo as well? And then
Yeah, that was
every
great.
time you would say the number, I would zoom in really close on your lips.
1.
So it'd be like 1. That's a good clip. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 79. Feels like we're kissing 100 at this point. Today is Sunday, September 4th, Labor Day weekend, baby. What? Let's hear it for Labor Day.
Woo.
And we are, and you'll be hearing this on Friday, September 9th.
Yeah, there it is, the gay bomb.
That's right. The gay bomb is in the house.
9-9.
No, we are very happy to be here on this wonderful weekend. Gavin, how have you been enjoying your long weekend?
Enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time off.
How long does it feel to you?
Quite long, actually.
Oh.
But that's just because I've been sleeping for like 15
And no
hours.
work?
And no work.
No work means no play, means jacked little boys.
That means no studying either. I'm just kidding. I
Uh-oh.
need to do that. I'll do that later tonight. I got plenty of time. Especially because I stay up so late.
Are you staying in town tonight?
Yes.
Nice. That means we can get it on after this.
Yeah. And we got speaking of getting it on, we Carson got the pictures in from Chicago on our
The
disposables.
pictures are in, folks. Maybe at this point they'll be posted too. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But they're really
So-
good. I like them.
They're very fun. I wish
Yeah.
we... Did I put them... Where did I fucking put them? Oh, I put them over there. I don't really feel like...
Nah.
they're not going to show up well. How have you been what have you been doing this week? Anything fun? Getting in any
I
trouble?
went out to dinner for my friend Darius' birthday. That was fun.
Nice. Did you guys stay? No, you didn't stay long enough for the game, did you?
No, we were watching. We didn't. I think we honestly could have went to the game. We watched until like the 4th inning, basically. I think we stayed till 4th inning down there. 'Cause we were down in that area. So.
Was it a good game yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Pools almost hit a home run, but then he did hit one today. So he's
He did.
695, baby.
Counting down the days.
On the last at bat with the Cubs.
Yeah, right. On the 700th one, they're just going to execute him right there on the spot.
They're
It's gonna
gonna
be
have
really
it
cool.
Sniper on the roof and everything.
God bless him. I'll be there and I'll be watching with my brand new boots on.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. So you had a good weekend.
Yeah. It's a long weekend. You know, just
Right. You get school off tomorrow.
school off tomorrow, but I do have to work.
Right.
So got Johnny no play all day.
Makes that boy.
Makes it boy all day.
Do you have normal time tomorrow?
2 to 10:30. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like they were like, can you come in and work this day?
I think I decided like earlier this year that I would work which holiday and whatnot. So I said I wasn't going to work July 4th, and I said I wasn't working Christmas.
For the Lord.
Or, I think I am working Christmas, but not working Thanksgiving.
Christmas Day?
Yeah. I'm doing it on Christmas. What are you kidding? Who are you kidding? I'm not doing anything on Christmas.
I don't know, man. I still wouldn't do it. I think you're making a big mistake.
Well, getting paid time and a half to work on
a
holiday.
I think you're going to regret this for a long time. Those are Christmases you can't get back, man. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
When are you going to be able to watch A Christmas Story on repeat on TBS?
I won't.
Which brings us to our first sponsor, guys. TBS is sponsoring this episode. They're re-releasing the George Lopez show, not starring George Lopez.
Yeah, they cut George Lopez out of the George Lopez show.
Carlos Mencia.
It's just like that one show where the lady was on Ambien and tweeted out all these things.
Lady Bunch.
Yeah.
That's my favorite cereal.
Yeah.
Lady Bunch.
Yeah.
Lady Bunch of Oats. Well, my weekend.
Oh, yeah, Carson, how was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Did you have fun?
I actually didn't do a goddamn thing, really. I drove into the city yesterday for literally no reason.
Why not?
Well, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I went to.
Go ahead and blast me, would you?
All right, here we go. Coming in. I went to go pick up my check, which they did not pay me the correct amount. So there's another email I have to send.
Hey.
And then I went to my favorite store, which I would I'll shout them out. Reset. I love Reset.
Oh,
Great people. But
oh.
I went there, which is also no. You know, I'm not gonna blame it on myself. I went there to sell a couple things. I was like, I'm in the area, might as well. Nobody was there buying. None of the guys who buy anything were there, and I was like, what?
Where's all the bias?
The first time it's ever happened. So that kind of sucked, and I kind of was like, well, I kind of just wasted coming into the city, which
Wasted
I could have
gas.
I could have just done it today, and it would have made way more sense because I wasted even more time today. My brother and I get up nice and early to go play disc golf at 10 o'clock.
This has become like a weekly thing.
It's my goddamn favorite thing, and I would love to go pro one day. We'll see if it happens. Probably won't.
I mean, you know another popular YouTuber I watch, MKBHD.
Never heard of him.
He does ultimate frisbee,
I
professional
did that.
ultimate frisbee.
Oh, he's pro?
Yeah, pro. He's a pro.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's just like Brody's.
I think they get played on
Smith.
ESPN3 sometimes.
Sometimes they don't play disc golf on TV.
No, they
though,
don't. Mm-mm.
Which they should. I was going to jump ahead, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Yeah, so we went to go play at 10 this morning. Supposed to start
pouring.
Supposed to start raining at like 1 or 2, so I was like, well, plenty of time. We get there and it starts just pouring down. So we waited for 15 minutes, still pouring, so he's like, I'm leaving.
Still pouring.
And I waited till like 10 after 11 and it was still pouring. I'm like, this is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
So wasted my time doing that, which is great because that's the only thing I really try to do in the weekend is go play disc golf, and I couldn't. Luckily, he's off tomorrow, so we're hopefully going to go play tomorrow if it doesn't do the same goddamn thing. But getting back to Frisbee Sports on ESPN.
See, I'd be able to check it on here, but the thing is that the Apple hasn't released the iOS or iPad OS 16, so I can't look at the weather yet because there's no official weather app for the fucking iPad. So I would have told you, but I don't. I really can't. So you're looking forward to doing that tomorrow?
Yeah. So getting back to disc sports on
Disc golf.
ESPN.
And I oop.
The disc golf world championship was this past week.
Really?
Yeah, and I watched the finals on Saturday and on
Who'd
YouTube.
you take first? Did you take Bradley Johnson or?
I didn't go for Bradley Johnson. Paul Macbeth did win. Congratulations, Paul Macbeth.
Big ups.
I'm happy he won. I kind of wanted him to win, but also Aaron Gossage would have been cool too because he's a younger guy.
Randy Johnson, but not the former MLB pitcher.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Who did you say?
Randy Johnson, but not the former MLB pitcher.
Well, that's funny because Aaron Gossage's believe grandfather's a Hall of Fame MLB pitcher.
Rich Gossage.
MLB pitcher.
Yeah, Goose Gossage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know he really is. That's not even
I
a
know.
joke.
I believe it. But that's funny that like
And I saw him at the airport
Goose Gossage
with Bo Wall.
with Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Fortes?
Yeah.
So Worlds are on. They're streaming on YouTube. And I tuned in, dude. Fucking 30,000 live viewers.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
was
like almost.
whoa, holy shit.
That's like a third. That's a good 3/4 of the Busch Stadium.
Right. And I was like, what the fuck is ESPN sucking their own dick over there, playing reruns of Brady Bunch and whatnot?
That's because they're owned by Disney. So
Is that true?
yeah, and
So
ESPN
Disney
is-
hates disc golf.
Yeah.
Well, they must hate disc golf because here's the thing that might make you proud. Disc golf is very woke, very forward thinking. They actually give the same payouts to the men and women leagues.
Wow.
Same payout.
That's
Yeah.
actually crazy.
They pay them out each the same. The winner gets the same amount. Everybody gets the same amount.
That's crazy.
There is no favoritism in it.
That's like really communistic.
It's pretty cool.
That's
It's pretty fucking
That's
awesome.
pretty dystopian future
Right.
of them to
Right.
assume that people want to get paid the same amount as someone else.
Right.
Like, what if he's just a better athlete? Like, what if he just draws more viewers?
Women don't even need to get paid.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kinda the way
There
I
you go.
think about it.
Yeah.
No,
but seriously, that's actually pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I
Not
know,
all,
right?
all the competitors don't get paid the same amount if they win. If someone wins, right? Like,
no. Not everybody gets paid $12.
yeah. What are
That'd
we?
be-
What are we giving out participation?
That's what Bernie Sanders wants. He wants everybody to get paid the same. And it's like, how do we have collegiate sports anymore? Bernard, grow
Bernice.
up. Grow up, Bernie.
Grow
or go
up.
Back, or go back to Russia where you were born.
Hook and sickle. Ever heard of it?
Mic drop. That's Bernie Sanders laugh.
That's. Where is Ronald Reagan? Where is Ronald Reagan?
Bernie Sanders set up John Hinckley Jr. to go kill Ron.
I mean, listen. The thing is that Hinckley's going to heaven, and Ronald Reagan is burning in the deepest pits of hell.
Oh, God damn it, we're thankful for it.
I
And
actually
God
saw
damn it, get John Hinckley a goddamn show and
Yeah,
stop
and-
canceling his concerts.
and give him another gun. Well, I
For
support.
God's sakes,
Get
give
that
John
man
Hinckley a gun.
gun.
Stat. Tell him where Mar-Lago is. Give him a gun. Send him on a
Do you
plane.
think? Do you think? Let's just say this is a scenario here. Do you think if people in jail were allowed to vote, would they have voted for Ronald Reagan? Like John Hinckley Jr. If he was in jail, do you think he would have voted for Ronald Reagan again?
Well, John. Wait, what? What do you? What?
Because like it's illegal to vote in jail. Like
Is it really?
Yeah, people in jail do not vote.
Whoa, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Let's hear it for that fact, everybody.
That is a real fact, and Bernie Sanders is fighting for people to be able to vote.
Yeah, right. I would have thought that was just fucking
I mean, considering a good like quarter of the nation
is in prison.
is in prison.
And we thank God for that.
I mean, that's a baseless statistic there, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty.
a lot.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
So much for the majority.
So much for the majority report.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but do you think John Hinckley would have voted for Reagan had he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. If Ronald Reagan was like, hey, man, I'll give you
Speaking of assassinations,
I'll give you 15, 16-year-old virgins of
from Little St. John.
what was the actress's name? Jodie Foster
Yeah, there you go.
in Taxi Driver.
Yeah. Speaking of assassinations, did you see the failed assassination of Argentina's vice president?
What? No.
There was a clip where she's like meeting the crowd and stuff like that, and then someone just puts a gun up to her head, like literally like from the crowd, like puts a gun in her face, tries shooting it and it jams. It literally doesn't go
Whoa.
off.
Was
Yeah.
it like a blunderbuss like the guy who killed
No, it wasn't.
Shinzo?
No,
Okay.
no.
It wasn't Scout's gun from Team Fortress 2. Because that's what it looked like.
Hold on, I have Team Fortress on here somewhere.
Not to diverge from this, I don't want to get on this topic, but I was on Snapchat, and sometimes those Discover articles will kind of rope me in, and then I'll watch it and I'll get 6 ads and I'll just be like, I don't really care what this was about. But this one really roped me in. It was about like top 5 deaths that have been caught on live TV or no, just on camera.
That one where the guy is like, all right, everybody back up, and then shoots himself. Like that one's pretty cool.
No,
I think.
not that one.
Okay.
I have seen
Bud Dwyer.
I've seen that one plenty of times. I saw it on the big screen last year at Fantastic Fest in Austin, Texas.
No comment.
There was literally a disgruntled news reporter in like, some bumfuck town wherever, and like went like, had like quit the job, or no, I think got fired because he like kept having like issues with all of his coworkers. It's like, well, let's just get rid of the guy who keeps having issues, and like rightfully so. Like he had reasonings that like kind of like made him have this like issue with this news team, and like then just like one day he showed up to where they were reporting at, like this cameraman and the reporter. And, like, he's filming it on his phone, like they're interviewing somebody, and he's just, like, behind them. And at one point, he just pulls the gun up and just points it at them and then puts it down, and they don't notice it. But there's, like, nobody else there. It's not like a crowded area, so they have to know he's there. But they never see him pull the gun up. And then, like, you see him pull it up again, and then they cut the camera, and he kills both of them.
What?
I had, like, never heard of this story. Like, and it was, like, you know, somewhat recently. But it's like the craziest video because he just pulls it up and then he puts it back down, and it's like, wait, why did? Whoa! It's like,
Hey, are you gonna acknowledge that?
it's like you're watching like someone play GTA. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where it's
yeah,
like you
yeah.
pull a gun up but they don't see it. It's
Yeah.
so insane.
So this is a video. I didn't want to play the audio because it's kind of
So
loud.
that's her.
Yeah, so that's the vice president right there, and someone tries just popping her right there.
She didn't even really look that like nobody really. I don't think anybody knew it
No,
even
no,
happened.
And then everybody was like, wait.
Because she's still there and like
Yeah.
nobody's really.
Yeah, they rushed her in the
And yeah, and then did you see all the people running over after it happened?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even. When
Then
did that
like
happen?
recently, I
Damn.
think this weekend even.
I didn't even know.
3 days ago.
311. Crazy. Crazy stuff, man. People dying out there. Be careful,
People-
folks.
Children dying in the schools. You ever seen that guy?
No, what is that?
The Jake Novak character. Never heard of him?
Big BJ Novak?
Big BJ Novak.
I don't know. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Children dying in the school.
I don't like Big BJ Novak as an actor.
Land of the free, home of the brave, land of the
Oh, this is the guy that wanted to be on
home of
SNL.
Kids in the grave. I've struggled to find the words, keep the disposition sunny. I'm always trying to turn the unfunny things funny, but laughing feels wrong. Hypocrisy's rife, I gotta say something, cause you're all pro-life unless it's taken by a gunman. 19 more tiny heartbeats stopped in their alma mater. You force
That's not a
kids into
gunshot, by the
world,
way,
then
that's
condemn
thunder.
them to slaughter. We
Sorry, I
teach
just
our
realized it
children
kinda sounded
how
like a
to hide,
gunshot, and
when
I
they
didn't
should be
mean to
learning
do that.
history. Then we're surprised when it repeats itself.
A little nervous,
It's no
sorry.
mystery, it's indifferent. See them run when
There-
asked how
it's
to
gotta be
combat
in
the
there, right?
madness. They don't care about your rights, they only care about their status, and they have us where they can hold us packed in the Senate. And I love my home, but the bad.
I guess it's not there. But he goes, children dying in the schools.
And you're sure it's that guy?
Yes.
Land of the free, home. Focus while we hopelessly focus home, but I don't hold in the
Probably
bad
towards
one.
the end. Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
In the school,
Damn it.
had one. Children
Dying
dying in the school.
What the fuck?
I wanna
I want it.
be the next SNL cast member.
Yeah, I don't need it again.
You
I
sure?
heard it once. I don't need it again. Gavin, Mark Zuckerberg.
Woo!
Let's give it up. There was recently a video put out of him.
You're human. I was human. I am human. Still.
Was human, of him like sparring in MMA. Did you see it? And it's like the first time you actually see Mark Zuckerberg like as a real human.
I
Like
mean, it is. That's what I was thinking. You can see him sweating.
yeah, and like actually make an emotion that's not.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's so weird. So he put that out recently. And I don't really know why. I think he just posted it, but then there's this tweet response of like a bunch of MMA fighters commenting on his Instagram when he posted it. Wait, let me pull up the Instagram post because maybe that'll explain more. Because I didn't even really understand. I just saw it going around and I was like, wait, what? That's a thing? Let me see. I think his at's just at Zuck.
Hey everyone.
Yeah,
We are
it's literally
live from
Zuck.
my backyard where I am smoking a brisket.
So he
and some
posted it. One of
ribs.
my training
I am- I'm
partners
making meats now. Smoking
is
these-
making UFC Fight Pass debut tonight. Oh, so he was just showing his support
So, I'm the meat
for this guy. And then a bunch of MMA fighters commented like saying like, whoa, this is so cool. And then he's commenting back like, thanks, man. I can't wait to see you on the card tonight. And one of them was Conor McGregor. He said, yo, fucking awesome, Mark. And Zuck said, thanks. Can't wait for your return. that emoji. He used emojis on all of them, so it definitely was not him responding.
But it is gonna.
But Mark Zuckerberg confirmed an MMA fan. Can't wait for.
You know, I wonder how much money he's made on MMA.
I hope he'll start watching Street Beefs. You know about Street Beefs?
Yeah, is that video with boom, boom, boom?
No, I
No.
don't know. That's just some random thing a friend of mine sent me. No, Street Beefs is like this backyard MMA league thing.
Yeah.
And I've watched so many hours of Street Beefs videos, and I just hope
Yeah,
Mark,
that's crazy.
hope Mark Zuckerberg gets into it. Speaking of the Zuck, Gavin sent me a clip of it's probably the most insane. I think has to be top 5 insane Trump things that he said recently. It's just, are you laughing about that or something else? Okay.
It's that insane that it's like,
just-
what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm gonna play it and
what
then let's.
the fuck?
I'm gonna play it and then we'll talk about it. Let's do that. Here we go.
You remember in the campaign, I used
Oh, and this is recently, like this
This
just
was
happened.
last night.
Last night? Okay, this is last night apparently.
You remember in the campaign, I used to say, if these people get in, we're going to end up with Venezuela on steroids. I said it many, many times. I never thought it was much of a possibility, but I never knew people could cheat like that. Not like that. Last week, weirdo, he's a weirdo, Mark Zuckerberg came to the White House, kissed my ass. Kissed my ass. Sir, I'd love to have dinner. Sir, I'd love to have dinner. I'd love to bring my lovely wife. All right, Mark, come on in. Sir, you're #1 on Facebook. I'd like to congratulate you. Oh, thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it. Weirdo. You remember in the
He came in last week to the White House, everybody. Mark Zuckerberg was
He's
in
got
the
a-
White House with Trump last week.
He's got a lot. This was a long rally.
Yeah, because this Aaron Rupar guy posted like
Every single clip.
But it's just such a.
Bird Cemetery. Go under a windmill sometime. It's not a pretty sight. It's also the single most expensive form of energy you can get. And all of those
And you can tell the audience is really into this.
Oh, yeah,
big,
they're
giant
riveted.
turbines are built in China and Germany to a lesser extent.
Literally,
man.
they only listen to fucking
A dead
buzzwords.
bird cemetery.
Well, yeah, that's all they
Go
care
under-
about. What else do they care? He has no.
He said
platform.
China, and everybody's like,
He doesn't have a platform to run on right now, so he's just grasping at straws. And he's, you
he-
know what he's doing? This is kind of funny. I just realized this. He's doing what like the grunge bands, like the classic rock bands do, where it's like, you know, if you got nothing else, play your fucking hits.
yeah, no, it
Yell
is.
China. You know what I mean? Like
There's
that's what
this
he's
one-
doing.
There's this one too where he claimed that John Fetterman uses drugs. He's just a drug user.
And the
Here's one. This
complete
is a good one.
Fetterman supports taxpayer-funded drug dens and the complete decriminalization of illegal drugs, including heroin, cocaine, crystal meth, and ultra-lethal fentanyl. And by the way, he takes them himself.
He takes
What the fuck?
He takes crystal meth and heroin. It's like, nah, man. He
also
smokes
this
some
one-
weed.
This is funny. He got Dr. Oz up on the stage, and he endorsed.
So he was in Pennsylvania? Is that where he was?
Uh-huh. And
Oh,
he said,
yeah.
he
PA,
said that
sorry.
guy. He said that guy.
Does he have a clip? I need
Yes,
to hear it.
yes.
And I know people in this audience have been hurt by fentanyl. I believe we can have an economy that helps the American people, but most importantly, I believe in each and every one of you, and so should you. God bless you.
Show should you.
That guy.
Has he
So
said
we
it?
have a great record of endorsement, all of us together. It's very close to 99%, and I endorse that guy, and I'm telling you,
that guy.
I will always tell you.
I
this.
love
I'll
the
tell you
banners
truth,
Newsmax
and he's
throws up
going
on the
to be a
right side.
phenomenal representative
good.
for Pennsylvania.
I gotta play this clip. All this caption says is the worst Who cover ever.
And we're leading Biden and everyone else, including the Republicans, by record numbers in the polls. So I may just have to do it again. You'll be staying tuned. May have to do it again. You hear that, Oz? Do it again.
We're together.
Standing around smiling, looking at all the signs. Mom.
May just have to do it again.
Is that a
But
Who song?
first, we have to win
Guess so.
a historic
There's this one
victory
too.
I don't know the
Uh,
Who well
for the
enough.
Republican Party this November.
All right, turn it off.
Sorry, I was trying to.
One, Mr. President.
This is a guy who's also running for Pennsylvania. I think I don't fucking know. It's another. I don't know.
Dingbat.
Yeah.
The key to our nation starts with us. And let's not forget in 2001,
Seen that guy.
and you were a champion on 9/11 2001, Mr. President, that he was. We saw him at the World Trade Center. Meanwhile, the key to our nation.
He's a champion.
He was a champion. I just love this is my favorite pose now. Putting your arms dangle at your side.
He also
you're a
introduced Marjorie
dog.
Taylor Greene.
Doesn't believe in using guns.
Oh, he
Anybody
talks
use a
about her?
gun? Boom.
Yeah, she's like there.
And I said, I think I like her, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She's like, they cut to her and she's just sitting in the seat, like. Okay. That's cool.
That's a scary endorsement
For
for him to.
it's funny because
endorse her.
he said 99%. Yeah, Palin just lost.
Yeah, she did.
So like, and everybody's like, I can't lie, it's pretty funny because some of the Republicans are like, they cheated it, they rigged the election again because people in Alaska aren't smart enough to understand the people aren't smart enough in Alaska to understand what the ranked voting system is.
That'll do well.
And it's funny because it's like, that's interesting because you keep wanting to close voting booths in like
Right.
low income areas.
Right.
Strange how voter suppression works in different ways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did when is this Pennsylvania election? It has to be soon.
I think it's this November.
Oh, it's not until November?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
99%.
I don't know how much more of it I can hear about.
99.
Though I do love seeing all the stuff about Dr. Oz, and he just like keeps just setting himself up for failure.
Yeah.
And I do love seeing that, but other than that, I'm like I'm over it. Just get the election going.
So,
now. John Butterman,
John Betterman.
Bon Jutterden,
Mm-hmm. Bon John Jovi.
love him.
Yeah. John Bon Jovi.
Long John Jovi.
Yeah, Long John Jovi. Yeah, so Zuckerberg kissed Trump's ass.
Last week in the White House.
He said, "Sir, thank you so much.
Just
You're
don't-
number
just-
one on Facebook."
You just need to remember that he said last week in the White House, Zuckerberg visited me.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know that he said this last night. Trump's not been in the White House since January 6th.
This is also an update.
Which is not true.
Yeah, that's also not true. Lost my train of thought.
Well, what do we do now?
Oh yeah, the Mar-a-Lago stuff. So there's
Yeah.
an update on the Mar-a-Lago stuff.
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah, we
there
did
was
talk
some
about
empty
that.
folders that the FBI found, and this is really stupid. But Eric Trump, the algorithm's getting crushed. Is that no? That's Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, it's Don Jr.
Don Jr. tweeted truth something along the lines of
Real quickly though,
yeah,
Eric Trump wrote a flight coach to Mar-a-Lago recently.
yeah, I did.
Just coach class or economy, not coach, whatever it is. It's the same thing. Go on. He truthed something
Yeah, hold on, I have to find it.
about Mar-a-Lago.
So he said, so now they're admitting the folders were empty?
Oh shit.
And it's like, because BBC tweeted, dozens of folders marked classified were found empty in FBI's search of Donald Trump's Florida home, new court document reveals.
They brought extras.
Yeah, they
just in
brought
case.
extras and planted them there. And it's like, weird that they would find empty folders where stuff that was supposed to be top secret was supposed to be.
Well, but did you see the picture of all of the classified documents
Yeah.
scattered on the floor? Like Trump would never have them like that.
Yeah.
He keeps it neat.
Yeah.
That was my
that
favorite
was really
thing.
funny. That they're like, so I can't believe they made it look like he did that. And it's like, no,
Right.
we didn't. We know that. Like, we know he didn't do it. We just know he had the fucking documents.
That's just to show how many
There
there
were.
were. But people live on Fox News were saying that.
Yeah.
And all the people on Fox News are like, Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? Did he
Bill
also
Barr-
leave? Somebody said, this isn't my
Yeah,
joke, but
yeah.
somebody was like, did he also leave that yellow 2A card next to the picture, like marking what the photo number is and stuff like that? I thought that was funny. Bill Maher, you said?
Yeah, Bill Barr.
You mean Bill Maher?
No, Bill Barr.
Who's Bill Barr?
I personally
Bill Barr, Trump's attorney general.
current point they
Never heard of
probably
him.
have pretty good evidence, but that's speculation, and if we see that, it's hard to say. Now, let me just say, I think the driver on this from the beginning was loads
Turn
of
it up.
classified president to take all this classified information and put him in a country club. Okay, and how long is the government going to try to get that back? They jawbone for a year. They were deceived on the voluntary actions taken.
There were multiple points in time where the FBI reached out to Trump's lawyers and were like, "Hey, please return those, or we're gonna file a lawsuit against you."
And there was one time where I think there's 2 different times where they gave some back,
Yeah.
but never
And
gave
they're like,
them
all
all
right,
back.
all right, here's a couple. And then they're like, right, yeah, no, but like there's more. And they're like,
Right.
nope, this is it. That's all of them.
Right, but
And
if
they're, don't
any
go
of
looking
us-
anywhere else.
Right. If any normal folk, any person working in the White House that they found had one in their possession would be like jail
Like,
forever.
yeah, that's jail.
Jail for the
yeah,
rest
that's
of your
like jail
life.
30 years per
Right.
document.
But, and they're complaining that, they think that they're getting it the hard way. It's like, but it's all just stupid speak. They know what they're saying's dumb,
Yeah.
but everybody's believing it. So
Well,
why
they have
not
to
just
back it
keep
up.
going?
They have to they have to back it up and they have to be able to
Right.
prove it,
Just
And,
like Trump said, I want you to find 30,000 votes.
Yeah.
I just want you to find it.
By the way, that phone call with the Georgia Attorney General was perfect.
Hey,
It was
Judy?
perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, he said it was perfect multiple times. He said it was flawless. It was perfect. It was the greatest call he's ever had. It was perfect. You would have
think I
been
agree
you would have
with
been proud of him.
You know, I think I am proud of him.
Yeah.
I like that call.
The
quite
call
a
was
bit.
so good.
I play that call before I go to bed every night.
Yeah.
Just to hear it. Do you want to get into one of your things that you put in
Yeah,
here,
give me
little,
a second.
little
give
buddy?
Me, give me a blunt.
Do you need some buffer zone?
Yeah,
because
can
I
you give me a
Yeah, shit, I don't have any on me. Actually, I got good news for everybody. I got a lot of messages, tons and tons of messages. People were very worried.
update the wiki on this.
They're very concerned about my new smoking habit. Tons of messages all over Reddit last night.
On the
Or
Reddit,
it's
off
Friday
the
night.
Reddit.
On Reddit, off Reddit. People saying they're really worried about my smoking habit. It's gotten way out of hand. I can't keep them out of my mouth. I can't stop sucking on them. And I have good news.
Keep sucking on them.
As of today, I am 1 day sober from cigarettes. I haven't had a puff in a day. And it's going pretty strong, actually. That really hurt the ears. And Honey Rose has actually been dropped as a sponsor. Go on, guys.
So this is also there's a lot of things I could say about this, frankly. This goes down a rabbit hole, but pretty cool. The police have secretly been using smartphone location data culled from Waze, Starbucks, and other popular free apps. So anytime that you leave your location services on for an app, and they ask for your location, it makes sense. They want to make sure.
Location.
Yeah, exact location, precise location. And it makes sense because you want to find stores near you. And
Right.
yes, you can also just look up, your zip code on there, and it would be fine. But I wouldn't say that this is coming directly from Apple. It's not Apple's fault. It's that Apple. It's just that ads are allowed to run on Apple products.
Right.
That's the reason. That's the reason and how this is used. So basically, Apple and Android have these things that kind of distort your actual name, and the name of your phone, your device, what your name is, where you live. Those kinds of things are all kind of distorted whenever they go through the ad whenever they sell their data to an ad.
Oh, okay.
To be like, hey, run ads because they're in this area. Well, that data is disrupted, but it can be traced back to one area, to one phone or one device. And then the police are able to buy that data from this place called, where is it?
Farmers only.
It's actually kind of fog reveal.
Fog reveal.
Yes. So police have used, this is from the article from AP, police have used fog reveal to search hundreds of billions of records from 250 million mobile devices and harness the data to create location analyses known among law enforcement as patterns of life, according to thousands of pages of records about the company. The company was developed by two former high-ranking Department of Homeland Security officials under ex-President George W. Bush.
Oh, nice.
It relies on advertising identification numbers, which Fog officials say are culled from popular cell phone apps such as Waze, Starbucks, and hundreds of others that target ads based on a person's movements and interests, according to police emails. That information is then sold to companies like Fog. And what distinguishes Fog Reveal from other cell phone location technologies used by police is that it follows the devices through their advertising IDs, unique numbers assigned to each device. So they're able to tell where you are just without even looking at the ID. They're like, yeah, we know that you live here and you go to McDonald's every day, you go to work, and you come home, you go to Starbucks, and then stop at Smoothie King, and then you go home.
But
or you go to this grocery store at this time most of the time. They have like routines. They can piece
but
together.
They don't have your full name.
They don't have your full name.
Okay.
They don't have like your full name.
But if it's connected to your phone, your name's connected to your phone, so
right.
they could still probably
exactly
pull it.
Yeah, but it's all scrambled up. It's encrypted, and it's meant to be like Apple does have good security, but it's just that advertisers and laws don't exist to protect user data like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically just you're money machines for Apple.
Right.
For advertisers, you're an absolute money machine. So, basically, Starbucks said it had not given permission to its business partners to share customer information with Fog. Quote, Starbucks has not approved ad ID data generated by our app to be used in this way Fog Data Science used in this way by Fog Data Science LLC. In a review to date, we have no relationship with this company, said Starbucks spokesperson. We have never had a relationship with Fog Data Science and have not worked with them in any capacity and have not shared information with them, said a Waze spokesperson. And a prosecutor who uses Fog disagrees, saying that if you use free apps, you deserve everything you get. Quote, Metcalf, the Arkansas prosecutor, has argued against congressional efforts to require search warrants when using technologies like Fog Reveal. He believes,
so they're using it without even.
Yeah,
they're
just using it. They're just like, yeah, we know. You know what? I know a company that has this person's data. Fog Reveal. So they go to Fog Reveal. Fog Reveal is like, who do you want? Oh yeah, here it is.
Right.
Here's all the data you want. Here's like,
Right.
can you pay us like, it's probably like $1 million or whatever, but it's still like,
Yeah.
it's nothing to a city,
Right.
He believes Americans have given up any reasonable expectation of privacy when they use free apps. Quote, I think people are going to have to make a decision on whether we want all this free technology, we want all this free stuff, we want all the selfies, but we can't have that and we can't have that and at the same time say, I'm a private person, so you can't look at any of that. That just seems crazy. That's what he said.
Of course.
Yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of really fucked up things going on right now, and nobody really knows about it. And I think this is one. I'm kind of paranoid about my position about my location data as it is, just because I'm like I don't have the Snapchat thing on. I only share my location with my brother and my sister. I
don't think I share my location with anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it makes sense to some degrees, but it's also like I don't want everybody to know where I am. Nobody needs to know where I am. Just fucking call me if you want me to know.
Right.
If you like, and I would be able to know whenever you're looking for me.
Right.
You know, like, and whereas on Snapchat you can just pull it up. Oh, this person's at so and so's house. They were there 3 hours ago, and now they went home. That's literally what Snapchat does.
Right.
And it's crazy that some people are just like, it's no big deal, but it's like. Yeah, but like if someone were to you could be stalked really easily on that.
Right.
Very, very easily.
Yeah, and now apparently Instagram is like when you have a location on, even on old photos now, it still has it like locked into your exact location, and now people can see the exact location where you posted it.
Hey, that's okay.
I think so. I don't know about that last part, but I'm pretty sure. I know the first part's true. Though.
I always like if I need to allow an app to do something, I do it for the time that I need it, and then go and turn it off.
Right.
And I recommend that to everybody because it's like you don't know what kind of data it's gonna be pulling
Right.
because people always are like, oh yeah, I talked about this, and then videos started showing up on TikTok.
Right.
It's crazy that if you don't turn your camera and your microphone, they don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I don't think that's
Just
not
saying.
true, but I am going to backtrack that because the only place I saw it were like those Instagram accounts where I've seen this before. So that's why I want to preface I just realized, I realized it when I saw it, but now I'm thinking back on it. It's like, oh, this is where I saw it. And now I'm like, oh shit, I think I just fell for like a shitpost thing.
Yeah.
Because it was like people on Instagram were like, it was like repost this so everybody knows that
Yeah.
Instagram has your exact location. Not saying that it's probably not true, but I just want
At
to preface
one point
that
in
I do want
time,
to
they
walk
did
that back.
have it like that. At
Okay.
one point in time, they did have it that you literally had a map on your Instagram profile showing
Right.
where you took photos.
Right,
And they took that off. That's not there anymore.
right.
But
So I just want to preface that might not be true, but it wouldn't surprise me. But I just remembered where I saw
But
it.
basically, with this is that I think some people will also say, well, if you're not guilty, you have nothing to hide. It's like, yeah, but also like you're a private citizen. I don't think any company needs to know where you've been.
Right, you deserve your own.
And like,
privacy.
it is. It's kind of strange that like ad companies and big tech have kind of made it like, look how convenient this is. You have ads around your area. Look how cool that is.
Right.
Isn't that neat?
Right.
No, not really.
No,
It's
especially
really
when I
not. Honestly,
Right.
like it's supposed to be a convenience thing, but if you're only looking for things, I try to turn as much ads off as I can.
Right.
I
And they
really
always
do.
get my shit wrong anyways, because like I don't listen to Spotify very often, but when I was getting California ads like all the time, like LA residential ads, don't know why. And then on YouTube on my phone, not as much anymore, but it used to always give me ads in Spanish. Just randomly, but like every day. And I was like, I don't know what this is for, but that's fine with me. I don't have to I don't have to tune into what they're saying. I can just kind of zone out.
Yeah. No, that's
But
and
they still don't get it right.
I'm just saying that there is a certain level of paranoia that I have about things, and I try not to go too far in the conspiracy, but this is proof that police can use. If you think you're hiding from someone, you are not. Someone has your data. Someone has it.
The thing that's really been freaking me out recently, and I don't know why or how this is happening. I didn't even know this was a thing, which I probably should look into just being in the podcasting world. But there's a specific podcast I listen to, and I'm sure they're a part of some hosting or some sort of company that like has something set up where they can do this. But at the end of every episode, they always play 2 post-roll ads, but they're always ads for local things. So they'll be Missouri specific. But I don't know why or how that, I don't know. First of all, I don't know how you automate ads for a podcast that will go to specific areas and be targeted like that. I didn't know that was a thing. So it's super weird that that's happening. And I want to look into that because it's like, first of all, why and when would I have ever given my location services to Apple Podcast app? Like, there's no reason I would have allowed that because, like, what would you need my location for podcasts?
Right.
So I don't know how that's happening. It's something I want to look into because it's been very odd and I don't like it because it's like so specific to, like, they're not even like, general. They're like Missouri specific ads,
Yeah.
like Walmart in Missouri or Target in
Yeah.
Missouri, like in this area. And
Check out Arnold.
It's so,
check
yeah.
out
So
Arnold location.
I need to, yeah, it's been a very weird thing. But anyways, I just wanted to
But
mention that.
There's also some things on Apple that almost require you to have a location, such
Right.
as like Find My iPhone, which that's another thing that I'm also kind of scared of is that somebody steals my phone.
Right.
That happens.
I don't even think I have
and
that
that-
on.
Yeah, and it's and you don't have to have it on. I'm just saying that
Right.
I'm just that there's also that part of me where I'm like, you know what, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I
Go
thought.
ahead,
Like,
go
if
ahead, put
somebody
it on.
gets
Go ahead and do it. Like,
Right.
okay,
First of all, I won't lose my phone. That won't happen because I
Right,
don't
yeah.
black out drunk that often.
right.
That's a shout out to a friend of ours, so I won't specifically say
Yeah,
who.
but I know that actually does happen a lot. It happens a lot.
it happens a lot to
this.
this one specific friend who I'm thinking of.
No,
maybe you don't know.
No,
who we're
I don't know who
talking
you're talking about, but
I'll tell you after. But it's definitely happened to this person multiple times. And if somebody steals my phone, they need it more than I do. I don't even got money like that. But
yeah.
like
there
like,
was someone
whatever.
this was one of the reasons why I turned it on was because someone was like, yeah, I was just like, I got my phone at a concert, didn't realize it, and then it ended up in China by the end of the week. and
Whoa, what the
and
fuck?
like someone was trying to contact them and being like, hey, what's the password for your old phone? Like, hey, what's your password? And they're like, how did you get my number? And they're like, that's not important. We just want to know what the password was.
Whoa.
And so like that's the paranoia that I have, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, well that'd be great if someone didn't do that to me.
Right. Yeah, it's just like whatever. It's
And
fine,
like
I
it was,
don't know.
and she couldn't recover anything from it because she didn't have all these things turned on. So
Right.
former Apple employee, or even Apple employee at the time, I don't know if she's still her, but she was like, yeah, these are the steps you need to take to like. She's like, don't give them any information, don't tell them anything.
Right.
You've already won because they're already past the point of no
Right.
return. So basically, walk through the steps of like how to turn on like Find My iPhone so this doesn't happen again.
Right. Well, and if my Find My iPhone's on and it like
But it
shows that
was
it's at
constantly
somebody's
pinging.
house who like
Yeah.
I don't know, like they stole it, what am I gonna go do? Like
Call the police.
Go
and
to
be
their
like, I
house?
found them.
well, yeah. What? Call the police? Can you go arrest this guy?
He stole my phone.
Like, no. Like at that point, I'm just like, whatever. They can
I
it.
have seen videos like that though. I have like
Where they go and confront the person. I
Yeah.
believe it. That
Yeah.
is surprising.
That
It's not a
happens.
video I'd ever want to watch, but I
it
believe
was
it's
like
out there.
it was like a girl and her mom found had the Find My iPhone stuff on, and found out that he was staying at a hotel in the area. While,
Seems like a very mom thing. to
yeah,
do.
and like they found it, and they called the police, and the police found wherever the guy was or whatever. So. Yeah, so this is really cool. Just be on the lookout that if guarantee that if you have a warrant out for your arrest, anywhere that you ping, you don't even know sometimes. Like right now, something is pulling my location. I don't know why.
Sure. There's a lot of things I've recently given my location
but like
to.
there's something, and if
Only
you don't-
while using the app though.
yeah, right.
Which probably doesn't mean jack anyways.
Like Find My iPad right now is on, and that's what's pulling information right now.
I found it.
Yep, me too.
I have your your iPad on. and
Yeah,
I
me
found
too.
it.
Motion calibration and distance. That's another one that some people,
What
it's
the hell
like
does that mean?
where like if you're moving, like if you're using maps or something like that.
Do you have location and services on for the weather app on there?
There's coming in iOS 16 or iPad OS 16. There is a weather app coming natively to the iPad. Speaking of, that's also this week. Apple will announce their new iPhones and
Really?
new iPads this week, and
Oh, yeah.
possibly new MacBook.
It is
And,
November.
September is usually when they hold these events,
Oh,
and possibly
right.
the AirPods Pro 2.
I did see a Twitter about it.
They on the normal iPhone 14, they might be using the chip from last year's model, and only because they want to because they're lazy and they know how to make people know how to make money. So
It's almost like Gavin.
what?
It's almost like Apple doesn't really need to release a new phone every year.
They do, Carson, year-over-year revenue. Ever heard of it?
Oh shit! It's almost like you make something as good as the PS4, and then you never have to release a thing for like 10 years,
Or just
and you keep selling it.
or
That's
and
the
this
thing.
was
You monopolize it. You just come up with this great device like iPhone 12 had it for 17 years now. And then people just keep buying those. Why do you need to rip a new one every year?
right. No, that's exactly what I'm
But I
thinking.
guess they kept making
this was-
tweaks to the PS4 and just didn't call it a new thing. I'm
Yeah, they call
sure.
it like a PS4 Pro.
But like sometimes probably not even that. Like
PS4
they
Slim.
were probably making tweaks that you don't even know about, James.
Yeah.
And
So
you're buying up anyways. Go on.
yeah.
And it-
So new iPhones coming out. There might be a pill-shaped hole for the iPhone Pros.
Why? Oh, so we can so John Fetterman can put his fentanyl into his phone?
Yeah.
And hide it?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And bring it on an airplane?
Yeah, this is a future liberals want, Carson.
What is the
Jack.
pill? What's the pill hole for? 'Cause that's what
For
I'm
the-
gonna call it.
For the camera and speaker,
What the fuck?
It's like
are
a
you
pill.
talking about?
It's a pill. It's like
What kind of pills are you taking?
it's like so like they have like the notch on the top of the phone. They're making it so the
Notch
screen.
from Minecraft?
You are annoying the fuck out of me. Sorry. Basically the screen will go around the notch now, and it becomes like this little hole with the speaker and a little circle for the camera.
Oh, like through the screen.
yeah, like through the screen.
That's
So it's
kind of cool.
that, but that's
They should come out with a new iPhone every year.
oh, that's cool. I'm glad they're making improvements over here.
I actually like that they're coming out with new iPhone and they're doing new things.
Now you mention it, that's a great idea.
I like the pill hole.
Yeah.
Why'd you say it was a pill hole?
That's what they call it. It's a pill-shaped like cutout, pill-shaped hole.
okay. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's coming out Tuesday, I think. So
Nice. I'll be there watching the.
I think it is Tuesday or
I'll be watching the live stream. What are those called? What do they call that? The keynote.
keynote.
Watching
Yeah,
the keynote.
Apple keynote. Yeah, the theme is out of this world.
They have a theme.
Yeah, every they have like a theme that just always kind of they just go with.
Oh, shit, I didn't
They
buy a
might be
I didn't-
announcing new MacBooks, but I haven't heard much about that.
I didn't buy a costume. Is that going to be bad?
You know, you're fine. You should be fine.
Okay.
But yeah, tune in if you are a tech nerd like me.
Will you
I
tune
probably won't turn in. I might tune in a little bit, but I think I'm gonna be in class.
Are
So
you going to turn in early?
yeah, I probably will.
Have you ever watched one of those keynotes?
Entirety. I've
Oh,
watched
yeah.
like I think like 4 of them.
Is that fun?
It's kind of interesting because
It does, I mean-
I follow I follow quite a few tech reporters, and they're constant in their live tweeting and stuff like that. So it's cool to be a part of that type of
Right.
community. It's that point in time where I'm always like, yeah, that's cool. And like this is a year that I think I'm due for an upgrade, so I would get a free upgrade.
Oh.
So, but or whatever it ends up being. But
I wonder when I'm due for an
it's like
upgrade.
every 2 years for most people. But
Probably
you-
due.
basically,
for
as
an
soon as you
upgrade.
pay it off, you're due for an upgrade, quote unquote.
Yeah,
for most
I don't know.
for
We
most
might-
providers.
I don't know if this is actually true.
You don't
but,
have
like,
to do it if you don't
Right.
need a new phone, you don't need one. Like I don't need one, but it would be
Same.
cool to have something new.
My parents seem to drag out paying things off.
It
I've
takes
noticed.
the average Apple user uses their phone for about 3 years and then they switch.
Yeah, that's usually how it went. I think what did I have before this one? Fuck, I don't even know. Oh,
You had a
fuck.
7.
Oh, I did have a 7.
Yeah, small 7.
So that was what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
it
might
might
have
be the
even
same.
It might have even been 4.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one started shitting out. This one's doing fine. This one's still running like a race car.
Yeah. My battery's gone to shit.
Really?
I think it might be my fault, but
My battery's
regardless.
still like pretty good, even though I like leave it on the charger all night, which is apparently something you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
easy. It's either like leave it on the charger, you would never have to worry about it, or put it on to like 90 and then take it off and then run it down to like 30 and then put it back on till 90. But
You know
I
what?
have a high wattage charger and it charges fast.
I do too.
It charges great.
My charger's awesome.
Mine's 30 watt.
I don't know what
20
mine is.
probably.
Wow. Okay. Way to just call me out.
Yeah.
Mine's an Apple branded.
So is
one.
mine. But
Well, it's probably the same thing
I'm,
then,
I'm,
I
kid-
bet.
I'm not kidding when I say it. Like,
I'll go get it.
yeah, I like. I think it was sophomore year. Sounds right. Yeah, sophomore year. I just like one day was like, I'm gonna go to the Apple store and just buy a really expensive. Like I bought like a 12-foot long cord, a
Oh.
special Apple cord, and like a huge like 30-watt box.
Oh, that charger.
Yeah, like
oh,
a
I
huge
definitely
one,
don't have
like
that.
massive, like a MacBook
Like,
charger.
yeah,
but it's
like I have
still
over there.
Yeah, but you can still you can use it on iPhones and it
Right.
charges faster.
That seems like
A bad idea.
A bad idea.
It was, trust me, and it's. I think it probably has actually probably destroyed my battery. But
I'd like to compare
It's a
our
lot of fun.
chargers sometime if you wouldn't
yeah,
mind.
whip it out. real
Mine's
quick.
pretty fast.
Yeah, mine's.
It is the new USB-C one.
Yeah, same.
It's the good boy.
Yeah, and I think within a couple years, Apple will eventually go over to a USB-C, not a Lightning port, because like MacBooks and iPads both use USB-C
It
holes.
is.
So no longer Lightning cables, maybe eventually in a couple years, because Europe, the EU, the European nations, voted that every phone needs to be under the same same charger.
Wow, that's quite an interesting vote to come up with.
I'm not sure. I don't remember what the rationale was, but that was ruling in favor of just universal ports.
I'm not against that. I like that.
And that was the whole point of having a USB-C was
Right.
like universal port.
right. I mean, I'm fine with that, but they just need to stick with something because I'm
Yeah.
just like I can't keep
It's been
buying new.
I mean, it's been like 10
cables.
years since they went from the thick one to the thin
Right.
one Lightning cable.
Well, even that, but these like the now out of date Lightning cables, like I have on that hard drive over there,
oh yeah,
like nothing has that anymore.
Oh,
That
like
lasted
the
for
Thunderbird,
yeah,
the Thunderbolt. Yeah,
That lasted for like 3 years,
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay,
they
nobody's
still have
nobody's
displays
agreeing
that
with
run
it.
it though.
God,
Sometimes, which is
just-
it's so bizarre.
Just decide on one thing and do that. Quit trying to make all these fancy fucking.
And there's
things.
also another thing with USB-C is that some of them do transfer data. Some of them transfer only a little bit of data. Some of them transfer really fast data. Some of them don't charge. Some of them do charge. Some of them only charge a little bit. have a certain limit to them. Some of them only have a certain data limit on them. Some of them have unlimited, like 20 gigabits, per second.
On what is this that you're talking about?
On like these USB-C cords. Like if you were to look up, if you were to buy something on Amazon, you have to make sure it charges with the USB-C.
Oh, right.
Like you have to make sure it is a charging cord and not just a data cable, because there are data cable USB-Cs,
Right.
and there's charging ones, and then there's charging and data, and then there's also some that only charge a little bit, and only some of them do a little
Right.
bit of data.
Well, I mean, that's just like with anything, like HDMI
It's just so-
cables.
yeah,
or,
guess you're right,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
They have like new
Cables,
HDMI
man.
2.1, and people are like, oh, it doesn't have USB, it doesn't have HDMI 2.1, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means.
does it go on my TV?
Yeah,
right?
go on my TV or not? So
I have bad luck.
that's
with
the end
HDMI
of that's the end
cables.
of Gavin's Techno World. Thanks for tuning in to Gavin's Techno
It
World.
was a fun one.
Yeah,
We should do this again sometime.
yeah.
And then after this, do you want to get in
Hold on,
your...
the
Oh,
theme's
sorry.
going.
Oh, so you're just gonna stop it there? You're gonna stop it whenever I...
So what are we moving on to, Carson?
I thought it was like an outro that you could talk over.
No.
Oh shit! I'm gonna write.
What we got?
that
What we got up
down.
next?
I'm gonna write that down. Well, you want to talk about this terrible Japanese book?
How long do we have?
Do you want to skip it? We can
No,
skip
you know
it.
what? We'll talk about it real quick. So basically, this guy who has a pawn shop, TikTok. I'll play a TikTok.
Okay.
This is the most disturbing thing I have ever seen in my career, and I
sounds like Bill
desperately
Maher.
need your guys' help.
Yeah, he
Didn't mean to
has Invisalign.
Oh.
No music on this video. I'm not even gonna say Pawn Man. It's inappropriate. I had a customer reach out and tell me that they have this old book of photos from World War II. It's been in their family for a while, and they wanted me to try and sell it. I said, okay, not knowing what I was getting into. Now, the book starts out, okay, the soldier is stationed in Southeast Asia, probably around 1937, 1938. He goes over there, and it starts out okay. We see the domain of the Golden Dragon. This is like kind of a gimmick thing. You get this for crossing the 180th meridian. And this person, he's a great photographer. He's photographing life in China and Southeast Asia before World War II really ramped up. However, so many incredible, well-done photographs. This guy not only was a great photographer, he had a great camera, but the pictures start to get more war-related here. And then I got to this page, and I cannot show you guys what's beyond this page. And I had no idea. When I got that book on Monday, and I opened it up, and I got beyond that page, I screamed. Somehow, that guy who took those photos was present for the rape of Nanking, and he took about 30 photographs that are unknown to history that are worse than anything I've seen on the internet in color. And those photos are in black and white. If you guys don't know about the rape of Nanking, this is the script for it. I'm going to film a TikTok explaining what it is, probably tomorrow. In short, it's one of the worst human atrocities of all time. One of the worst acts of World War II. One of the worst things to ever happen in human history.
So he's got some big claims going for him right now. Huge, massive dongs.
Never before seen photos.
So, I was on Twitter a lot this weekend too, and so I saw that on TikTok, and I was like, okay. And then one of my favorite follows on TikTok, I also follow on Twitter, said he's like, I'm not sure I believe that pawn shop guy. And someone tweeted, hey, have you seen this thread? So that video has gone viral on TikTok. This is from the thread. The video has gone viral on TikTok. Man finds an album that he thinks may have extremely rare and unusual photos of the Nanjing or Nanking massacre. But things are not like they seem, and I'll explain the following tweets. Now, I'm not really into trigger warnings, but I do realize that someone who has researched some crime and war for a long time and has witnessed a few awful things, I'm no longer shocked to things normal people are still shocked to, so be aware, lots of horrors ahead. Mind you, I will link you to these things, but try to avoid sharing pictures directly. Follow the links in your own discretion, blah, blah, blah. The Pawn Man thinks the album is extremely rare because of the photos in it, but the album itself is not rare. It is genuine, though. But this is a My Oriental album. That was a souvenir album countless sailors bought when their tour of duty was about to begin. And this is also from another copy. That's just a thing. Like this was like basically like a picture book. So, and there's a lot. There's like he or she found 3 just right off rip, 4 off right off rip, just like posted them. So they said, even this chat mentions that the photos depicting public executions, beheadings, death of 1,000 cuts were in the album, but separately in an envelope. That sounds suspiciously familiar, doesn't it? Because I guess that's also been the case in other My Oriental albums. the Pawn Man's been sharing some of the photos on Twitter, but you can see them all in his account here. They're not great. Like they're not good looking. Like it's not great. Like they're terrible. Like don't get me wrong, they're not good photos.
I saw a few of them before we started.
Yeah, like this. Like
wait, let me see that. I didn't see that one. Oh yeah, that was the one you were talking about.
Yeah, and like he puts inappropriate captions over these, but like, basically, they're familiar, but they wish they weren't. I've seen some of these before, and it didn't take long for me and others to find some photos in the album elsewhere on the internet, like with stock companies. So this one, for instance, can be found on stock image websites titled "The Public Execution of a Communist in the Streets of Nanking in 1927." There's, of course, stock image companies often are wrong, but other photos can be found there as well. And it seems most or none of them are not related to the 1937 massacre that he talked about in the video. Another photo showing the death of 1,000 cuts very likely shows the execution of Fu Zuli in 1905. So what have we got here? Is an album filled by sailors with photos they took and stuff they found during their tour. It's a souvenir album. And sometimes, this was another video unrelated or related, but it was basically saying like people after atrocity has happened, they would have sold pictures on the streets. You know, like they were just like, oh, here's a reminder, you know, hey, this actually happened. Or, you know, you may think that this wasn't real, but it happened. Here's a picture showing that it was real. And so this sailor probably was just like, oh yeah, this happened recently. Where it could have been happening like 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
So
that was my question was like, well, where did the photos come from then?
Right.
So that makes sense.
So we know that the man who owned the Pawn Man's album served on the USS Augusta, and it seems that this ship was not in Nanking during the massacre. So what are these photos doing in that album? And they said that they reckon the photos were being sold, which sounds weird to us, but it was news, and there was no TV or internet, just magazines and newspapers. And I bet that some of these sailors had the photos offered to them at a market or a shop, bought them, added them to their albums, and it may have illustrated what they witnessed. It did illustrate what was happening in the region at that time. And whoever sold them may have added a few unrelated photos just to get an even number to have more pictures sell. Those foreign sailors wouldn't know one of the photos was made in 1905 and pay good money for them.
Right.
So something similar happened to me. I bought a Dutch photo album that contained thousands of photos from the bombing of Rotterdam, same size, same look, and you could easily be fooled. You know, they were by the owner of the album, and the photos on the left right here are real, and then these were bought. You literally wouldn't be able to tell that these were fake or real, you know, like not of that time. So just after the bombing, people were selling little sets of these photos everywhere as a reminder, as news to show people what happened, etc. And some people put them in their albums. Now and then someone tries to sell those albums as super rare because of the bombing photos. So although the album is interesting, it's not as an extremely rare item with even rarer photographs. So later in the video, in the TikTok video, he goes on to say that nobody's buying it. He's not buying it from them. He's not going to sell it to anybody. He's going to donate the album to a history museum to put on display because everybody needs to see these photos. And it's not something that needs to be lost to history. So, basically, it's something that happened. It's something that did happen, but these photos aren't as rare as this guy thinks. So he blew it up on TikTok, making everybody think that this was worth millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
He said that he had really rich people reaching out to him in a follow-up TikTok. You know, a lot of people willing to pay a lot of money for these photos. And he said that even mentioned something about how the Chinese government reached out to him to get these photos, basically as blackmail to Japan, to be like, hey, we have some of the photos that you were looking for, but they're not as important. I mean, you know, maybe they are, but you wouldn't be able to tell because you wouldn't know whether these are from 1927, 37, 1907, 1917.
I would have never known.
Exactly. So it's just one of those things. So
now, did he post anything after that kind of came out, like saying that?
No, I don't think so. He hasn't really posted much.
He's still believing what he said.
Yeah. So
yeah, I would have. I mean, that makes sense. And it's crazy that it just like shows like how much even then, which was like, you know.
I think he did end up saying something. There's a final word thing.
Okay, I'm gonna put this out there, and
he said, and to the people accusing me of hoaxing this.
Usually address negative comments. I don't address haters because I don't give them the time of day because the internet's a negative place, and once you feed into it, there's no going back. But there's some pretty serious allegations about me that I am making this up, and this is all a giant hoax. First off, do you have any idea what I've been through over the last 4 days? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. This is not a hoax. No sane person would fake this. Second off, the most important, the most prudent thing, have you seen the book in its entirety? You haven't? Oh, well then how could you possibly know? It's really fucked up that people are attacking me and going after me and thinking I would stage this and just basically running away from the truth. They don't know because they haven't seen it yet. This is, like I've said, going to be a lengthy process. I was not expecting this to happen. It's completely upended my entire life, my business, everything. I'm so freaking stressed out. Well, it doesn't matter. In any event, I just want to say, I'm not hoaxing this. And that you think I would is really messed up. And what's even more messed up, at worst, if this whole thing, if it turns out all the photos are reproductions in the book, and I really don't see logically how it could, because number one, between the pages, there's like rice preservative paper, and that has naturally aged in a way that leads me to believe it's authentic. Number two, the photos, most of them, they're very unique of indigenous life in a way that nobody really has any benefit in faking. I don't see how those would be fake. Maybe some of the photos of the violence are reproduction souvenir photos or they're copies that were copied at the time. But even if just one of them turns out to be real, it's documenting atrocities. And even if not, this has accidentally started a conversation about genocide and has accidentally educated millions of people that didn't know.
He's not wrong. So
Yeah, but that, like, saying that it's preserved, it's like, yeah, man, we know it's old, but there's probably
you're not
quite
gonna
a
believe this,
few-
but if you put things in a box in the attic for a while and it never gets
Right.
rain or water or dust, it's gonna look pretty cool.
Right, and
It's
nobody
gonna
was
look pretty
saying it
brand new.
wasn't old.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
Yeah, it's genuinely
obviously
old. It's old. You know, it's just that
Yeah.
this might be reproduction.
Right.
So that was just
Interesting.
that was something I saw and I was like, I should probably bring that up. That was just
Yeah,
something that-
yeah, but that's
Jam-packed episode.
Right. What I was gonna say is that it's crazy to see, like, you know, that we were even selling, like, that there's people selling those pictures as like souvenirs. Like, it's just like we have always just loved violence for some
things
reason.
that like you didn't witness, but it's like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Right. It's like, oh, I need to buy
Yeah.
that for my photo album.
For my tour album I
What
spent
are
over
you
here.
thinking when it's it's like, you know, they're fucked up anyways because
Yeah.
of whatever. But Jesus, very interesting. That was much more interesting. I mean, I knew it was interesting just because stuff like that interests me.
Right.
And it's
You're a
interesting.
pawn man yourself.
And it is interesting. Well, technically I am, and that's quite interesting. But
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to go there, and I didn't know where that was leading.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what he's going to end up doing with it, but I would imagine someone from a history museum or something is going
Yeah.
to pick it up.
If he donates it, that's great.
And that's exactly where they should belong.
Yep.
And I'm glad that he did that. As long as he's not, I don't think, I'm glad he wasn't using it as like leverage over somebody like, oh, you know, well, I have these old pictures, you know, you
Right.
better give me something cool for these.
Right. And it is funny that he's like, you have no idea what this has done to me. It's like, buddy, you
He
did
did
post
yeah,
it.
and the thing is that he got like an interview from Rolling Stone and like had an interview with them.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
He looks and sounds like a very drama queen kind of person.
Oh yeah.
And God bless him for
Yeah.
it, but it's just like, you know.
I think he said in a separate video was like, you know, like I've been getting phone calls all morning and I had to answer the phone so many times. And I get it. But, you know, also you made this video and didn't just immediately directly contact a history museum and be like, hey, I have this photo book.
Right.
You want to have one of
kinda-
your historians come out and look at it and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah, you brought it up on yourself
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, which is fine, you know.
No,
do that. I probably
what
would
you
have
want
done the
to.
same thing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been like, you have no idea what I've been through.
I just did this to myself.
This has fucked me up. Well, Gavin, anything else you would like to say about that before we
No,
move on?
don't think so. But it was a lot of fun. A little interesting deep dive.
Well, here we go. This week on Next Door Drama. So, Gavin, we kind of briefly talked about it before we started, but this is a Next Door Drama segment, which, in case you don't know, I will very briefly explain it. There's an app called Nextdoor. People in the area, in your neighborhood, post things, and there's a lot of white people, crazy white people,
Racist white people.
racist white people, especially in our neighborhood, just posting the most insane shit you've ever seen in your entire life. And it literally just comes in waves. There's literally not a dull day on this app. And actually, through the process of doing that edit, which you should go check out on our social media or YouTube, it's called Nextdoor Drama. It's an edit I did. It's really fun. That there is a Twitter page that posts like best of Nextdoor.
Uh-huh.
I tagged them in the post to see if they would see it, but it's a very well known thing that next door is a crazy place, and it's very fun. But I think our area is just really tacked into that.
They
good
want.
juice
Listen,
that we
Carson.
need.
They just want to improve the community.
That's all they do, and they
That's
need
all
to
they
ask.
want.
They need to ask if those were gunshots. They need to ask if anybody.
Did you call the police?
They need to exactly, and then you're going to ask that about 70 times. They need to ask about restaurants, and they need to tell people about some family member.
Hey,
that died
do you know
recently.
what's being built there? Does anybody know what's being
that's
built
another
there?
one. That's a really good one.
When's that coming? Is there a Chick-fil-A coming?
Chick-fil-A.
No,
Chick-fil-A?
actually, what's funny is that one of the councilmen for the city did actually come out and say that St. Charles City is getting a Chick-fil-A at some point soon.
Yeah, it's going up over here, near me. I won't geolocate myself any more than that, but it's come. It's
Yeah,
very
it was
close
funny
to
that
me.
he was like, years. It's been years since even before I was in high school. People were like, "There's a Chick-fil-A coming."
Since before he was in high school.
Before I was in high school.
Oh, before you were in high
Before
school.
I was in high school. Yes.
Oh, I thought
Like,
I thought you
we're-
were like speaking like you
No,
are the city councilman.
no,
Sorry.
no.
Sorry.
Why would I do that?
You know what
Also,
I'm- you know what I'm really sorry.
no, but like where the Canes is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People were like, "There's a Chick-fil-A going in there."
I think I remember that too.
Yeah, people were like, "There's a Chick-fil-A," and there was two banks.
And then people also wanted another Starbucks.
Yeah, but there was a Starbucks down one street, and then it closed.
Yeah, on Elm Street.
Yeah, on
there
Elm Street, they
was.
just closed it, and it's like
Forgot
now
about
it's a Arby's, or not? No, I'm sorry, it was A&W.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the annoying part is that it's like, well, we had a Starbucks and nobody used it, so
It was like 3 other restaurants before that. I think.
yeah,
It was
But
like that fucking place by Tubby's.
It was it was Starbucks, and then it was Fort Taco.
Yeah.
And then it was
I think it was something before.
It
Fort
might have been
Taco.
something before Fort Taco, and then it was Fort Taco, and then it was A&W.
Yeah.
And that took a while to do because they had to redo the whole out exterior and stuff like that.
Right.
Outerior.
They had to redo the
Yeah,
whole outerior.
outerior, yeah.
And then you and I went there once, and it was
I went there twice,
fine.
and I've never wanted to vomit more after a meal than that point in time.
It was just so boring.
It's so boring, and also like the most generic cheeseburger you're ever gonna taste.
Yeah. Cheese curds were fine. It was just fine.
It wasn't like a Culver's experience where it's like, this is cool. I can get ice cream and it tastes good.
Yeah.
The fries taste good. The ranch tastes good. Like everything there tastes like it was dipped through 4 layers of
Right.
grease, and then thought about flavor.
And I was thinking, if you eat it in the restaurant, you can drink your root beer out of a big glass mug.
And you can't take it home.
Don't take it. We need those mugs.
Frosted mug.
We
I was there
only
like
have
day
6
one.
mugs.
I was there like day one.
We were there like pretty soon after it opened too,
Yeah.
because it was still like so
I think we went there for the
busy.
soft open once. So, and we had Fort Taco tacos for a while too. And then I remember one day I went down there. I was like, yeah, let me go get some. And then it was closed. Like the whole location was gone.
It was fine.
It was not very good, but I thought it was.
My
There were a
friends-
couple times where I was like, this is really good. And then a couple times I was like, this is really soft and not good.
Were you with us in high school when we went there once on an
No.
early release day?
Nope.
Okay, so I went with some group of people, and there was some teachers there.
No, I didn't
Which was
go.
always funny to go after an early release day, and you would see your teachers at
Yeah.
the restaurants you would go to.
Yeah.
Happened way too much.
That happened way too often. Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, that was a long intro for
Yeah.
that. This week we have an entry that I am entitling "The Name is Nathan," and you will understand why that is. Now, Gavin, I prefaced this to you before, and I'm gonna preface it again, mostly for our audience at home, our wide audience at home. You were obviously playing the character of Nathan, because I think you will be able to read this with good emotion. And I want to set the scene for who your character is, because one day I'd maybe like to direct something. So this is pretty much my practice for it that I'm making you do. Your name is Nathan. You're 25 years old, and you seem to be a little bit on the nerdy incel side, I would say. And you're very full of yourself, but you're really angry about a very, very, very specific, minute thing, and you just won't shut up about it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
For My Name is Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and play the music. Obviously, like I said, Gavin is playing Nathan. I'm not giving my character a name. I'm just going to be anonymous person.
Commenting. back.
Now, I need you to know there's going to say, like, because whenever you comment back to somebody, it'll say their name and then it'll, like, continue on. Don't read those names.
Okay.
If you do, it's fine. We'll just move on, but try not to if you can. So I am an anonymous character. And without further ado, I'm going to start the music. If I can remember where it is. Hold on, here it is. Okay, you ready for the music?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Hold on. I don't want it to be too loud. Actually, okay, here we go.
I would like to talk to everyone about the old Jim Trenary site on First Capitol. Everybody knows the concrete wall at the right front corner of the property next to the St. Charles Water Tower that used to have Jim Trenary's name on it. And I believe in used cars, the peeling paint that had been there for like 30 years. After years of Trenary no longer being there and the building being apparently abandoned, someone finally removed the peeling paint off the wall just to replace it with a giant billboard for Lindenwood. I would like to know what right Lindenwood has to put up a billboard there, being that every other business in this city has to go by sign ordinances that this is a very much a sign. That now says Lindenwood Country on it and a photo of one of their football players. If this is Lindenwood Country, I'd like to defect to someplace else. No one wants to look at their signage. Put it on the highway where it belongs.
Have you spoken with community development and expressed your concerns? If they're in violation of any code or ordinance, they'd be the ones to speak to. Is there a reason you don't want a Lindenwood sign in town? I haven't seen it myself, but I feel like they've done a good job over the years keeping up with their grounds and maintaining their own structures.
What would you think?
Shrugging emoji.
What would you think if a business had a sign that was 10 times the size of their building right next to your business? That's why we have a sign ordinance. If you haven't noticed in the last 20 years, signs have gotten smaller and closer to the ground. No one else has a full-size billboard in the middle of the city, so who in the city of St. Charles is biased towards Lindenwood?
They own the property, sir. And in the works for selling it to AutoZone. Lindenwood wants AutoZone to move so the campus actually looks like a campus. This is all public record.
That has nothing whatsoever to do with an oversized sign that is against code.
Nathan, you'll have to bring it up with the city since they most likely approved it. LU typically is in good talks with the mayor. At the end of the day, the more recruits LU brings, the more revenue the city makes.
Everyone is in good standing with the mayor that has a checkbook open. And the college contributes nothing to the city of St. Charles. When was the last time they paid property taxes?
Why bother complaining if you're not going to take any action? I'm oddly concerned why you're worried about a sign, let alone a sign for the best thing that's happened to that side of St. Charles.
Ask yourself why is that the best thing that's happened on that property? Because it looks like that because of Lindenwood, and it is far and above against the sign code that everybody else in St. Charles lives with that doesn't have privilege.
Are you okay, Nate?
The name is Nathan. He brings up a good point.
He does, man. He's really concerned about that sign ordinance.
He's the one that voted on it.
Okay, before I say anything, how many comments do you think were on this post?
Probably like 300.
You're a little too much. It was only 135.
Only?
And it was mostly him responding to people saying the same thing. The sign ordinance. There's a code and there's a sign ordinance, and that thing goes way over it. And it needs to be on a billboard outside of town.
I would think that maybe they would want it like somewhere closer to the campus to like advertise, hey, the campus is right here.
No. Man.
And it's funny because
Not
he's like, if this is Lindenwood country, then I'd like to relocate.
He wants to defect.
Yeah, he wants
to defect from here if it's Lindenwood country. I really want to know who this guy is and why he has such a bias towards Lindenwood. Which, in case you don't know, if you're not from around here, because most of them aren't, but Lindenwood is a local college in our town. D1 now.
Yeah, they are D1 now. This I want to look up this guy's name.
He seems like somebody I would know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love his name. I'm not going to read his full name, but it's very funny to me. Because first name. Did you read his name? Mm-hmm. It made me laugh whenever I saw what his name was. But yeah, so that was the next door drama this week, and it got pretty heated. It was heated, and man, he was mad about those goddamn sign ordinances. And quite frankly, I don't think I blame him.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, that sign is just an obtrusive, ugly thing to look at.
So obtrusive. Before we get into what we're listening to, we're going to talk about sports, which we won't because it's getting too late. But next week, and I'll have Gavin help me tease this, but next week, we got something really special coming with the football season coming up, Gavin.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain more?
Yeah, so the football season starts on Thursday, so it's not as timely as I'd like it to be, but I think next week I had my fantasy draft tonight. Yeah, I had my fantasy draft tonight, and I was gonna go over my picks, but I think Carson's draft is happening soon. So
yeah, it's happening this coming week, or actually in a couple days. I can't remember which day it is.
Yeah, like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah, because there's like different. What did you do yours through?
ESPN Fantasy.
Okay, I don't remember which one I did it through, or I'm doing it through, but they're all at like different times just to not compete with each other.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand. That's
right.
I know people who do many drafts. So this is my first draft. This is my first draft I've ever done of fantasy football. I've done fantasy basketball. Haven't ever done fantasy football. So this is my first season. I think we're doing some sort of money thing.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you doing it with like a group?
I think
of friends?
so. Yeah, I'm doing it with a group of friends, like an extended friend group. Like some people I don't really know, but I just kind of fuck around with. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
For the invite. I'm actually doing it with my.
It wasn't my league though, so like it'd be kind of weird to like invite someone.
That's fine. I actually got together with my old collegiate basketball team, and we're putting money together too. I think it's gonna be something like $100 for the pot.
Yeah,
so it could be pretty big. So yeah, we're gonna go over those next week.
I think I did a pretty good job. Fantasy. I'm not kidding. ESPN Fantasy has me projected number 1. At the beginning of the season.
You gave me a few of them.
Yeah, I think I gave you most of my team, but I think I'm excited to hear your draft picks.
It's gonna be. I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously the draft hasn't happened yet, but it's looking promising this year.
I mean, I didn't really. I had like a list of players that I wanted to go for.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Looking forward to hearing about your picks.
Yeah, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that too, because that's gonna be a special fun thing coming next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Going through the draft. Talk about our fantasy draft.
Yeah, we'll also talk about our predictions for the year too. That day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like predictions, like like who's gonna win the NFC West? Who's gonna who's gonna end up being in the Super Bowl?
Right. I forgot we were doing.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. I think I have a pretty good feeling who might pick this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Gavin, what are you listening to this week?
This week I'm actually listening to, and this is going to surprise you. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I'm listening to Tame Impala's 2020 album, The Slow Rush, came out February 14th, 2020. Listened to it while I was doing my top drugs, and very enjoyable album. A lot of it's just psychedelic synth stuff. I don't know what the fuck he's saying on any of these songs, but it's catchy. Whatever he's saying, it's catchy. Right. He's got good bass lines, and he's got a lot of really good stuff on here. But most of the standouts for me are in the middle of the album, like Borderline, Posthumous Forgiveness, which sounds like Redbone by Childish Gambino. It's got the bum 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 bum. It's still got like that same kind of beginning, which is kind of funny. Kind of interesting. I don't know if he ever got sued for that or not, but it's very interpolated, like very, very much
Sure it wasn't
inspired
sampled?
by. So I don't think it was sampled. It's not the same guitar sound at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, I enjoyed this album. There are some really long songs on here. It's almost an hour-long album. 12 songs, so yeah, 5 minutes each about. So they're kind of long.
That's a
Kinda long.
band I need to get into, Tame Impala.
They have some. I mean, this isn't. If I had to rank their releases, because I'd rank because I mean they don't really release that much. You know, did I ever mention Tame Impala is just one guy
Yeah, and he
from Australia.
I'm gonna be real bad on myself if I get this wrong, but what's his name? His name is he's got a funny name, right?
Kevin Parker.
Nope, not who I was thinking of at all. It's just one guy, but he plays with the band, right?
Yeah, he plays with the band, but it's just him that like writes the songs.
guitar player in his band. Hold on.
He's number 211 in the world.
Who plays guitar in Tame Impala? Give me the goddamn. It just says him.
Yep.
Who played guitar? Who plays guitar?
Guitar. So, I've listened to 3 of their albums. I listened to Lonerism 2012, Currents 2015, and 2020's release of The Slow Rush. Lonerism featured a song called Elephant that was in a commercial for a Windows phone back in the day. That's how I found it.
I'm glad I didn't say what I was going to say because I'm way off. Wow, I don't even know what I was thinking of. I'm going to have to reassess that. What were you just saying? Because you were looking up, you're talking about, you listened to a few of their albums.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So in 2013, BlackBerry had a ad that had the song in it.
Oh, I've heard this song.
Yeah, that song. And I literally I had to look it up. I looked up like what song was in the BlackBerry Keep Moving Forward in 2013. I was like 13,
Right.
and I looked it up, and I ended up finding out. Come along to know that it's Tame Impala, who I wasn't actually expecting to be this popular over time. And I think I had listened to this song and had most of these songs down on my iPod once upon a time, and I listened to them on the bus.
That's what those commercials do, man.
I mean,
I did it with a lot of Apple commercials.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I really still do. Like anytime I hear a song I like, I'll jam to it, and I'll be like, I like this song. I don't care what commercial it was in, but like,
I don't watch commercials that often.
yeah. But whenever I did watch TV a lot, that song would come on. Especially, I think it was mainly during football season. But like, yeah. So, I listened to 2012's album and I had most of their songs on my iPod. I've listened to Currents multiple times, and it's crazy how many songs I know on this album, because over time they just get played, different songs get, attached to different things over time. And there's a lot of songs in this album that I really like and in Currents. But I listened to the Slow Rush 2012 album. Really good. It's interesting. It's very synthy, much longer. It's much longer, this album.
It's much longer.
Also, an update on last week's recommendation. I just wanted to say that this is it's funny because I looked up Anthony Fantano. Everybody knows Anthony Fantano.
Melonhead.
Everybody knows Anthony Fantano.
Everybody loves Fantano. He's one of the greatest.
He's got plenty. He's got lots and lots of reviews.
Fantano came to the White House last week, really kissing my ass, but I let it happen because I'm a big fan of that big shiny head of his, and he really likes.
He
all
likes
the music.
flannels. He's a big flannel guy.
He's a big fan of Chat Pile. He really likes Chat Pile and all the music they're doing. All those great people in Chat Pile were really big fans.
So,
of noise rock.
yeah,
really
so
big noise rock fans.
He listened to Muse's new album and gave them a not good out of 10. That means it is so low it did not register on his scale.
Wow.
He gave it a please do not listen to this. This album should die, like rating. And I think it's funny because I did explain in the video that over time they've gotten more and more ambiguous with their lyrics, and they haven't really taken a stand against things. They're just kind of like, bad guy keeps doing the bad things, but the good guys, we're going to keep doing the good things. And he even mentioned that in the late 2000s, Muse had released a statement basically saying, like, Glenn Beck went out and publicly said that he likes Muse's music. And they basically were like, who's a right-wing nut job for people that don't know Glenn Beck.
Well, when you said Glenn Beck, I was like, is there a guy in Muse named
No,
Glenn Beck?
no,
I was
no.
like, wait, what?
But like Muse had to release a statement saying like, hey, that's not who we write the music for. Like, please don't think that we're writing the music for you.
Yeah, but any white person likes Muse.
Yeah.
Just
No.
because of like one or two
Right,
songs.
right. But it was funny because he like came out and was like, yeah, everybody listen to Muse. And they're like, actually, maybe that's not the audience we want.
That's awesome.
So he did mention that it's really cheesy, corny, and not very good. And actually, so not good, it's not good at all. But I will say that these are not recommendations, but these are what I'm listening to this week.
Right.
I like it because it is just that cheesy corniness that I enjoy.
Right.
And I've said that multiple times last week that it was corny and cheesy. But
It's like my mom's bean dip. She
yeah,
made the other week.
But I don't want to backtrack. I do like this album. I think I gave like an 8. But the more I listen to it, the more I kind of think about that it really isn't taking a stand. It's just that like you're using a lot of your mind's eye kind of thing and interpreting lyrics, especially ones like these.
It seems to me like they kind of
They took 2008's album and stuck with that for like
they caught lightning in a bottle and they're like, well, let's just keep repeating it.
Yeah, let's do it
over and over again.
Yeah.
Which I hate. I hate when bands do that.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy.
But that's what, people are going to love it.
Yeah.
You're going to hear This Is Halloween in every Spirit Halloween this year.
Can't wait.
I was talking to Florida Blake.
Uh-huh.
My friend Florida Blake, as we'll call him.
Famous
on the show.
character on the show.
He'll never hear this. Actually, he might. I don't know. Eventually. We were talking about, he's a big Muse fan. And I was telling him that so are you. And his girlfriend is a big Black Keys fan. And they went and saw them in
Memphis?
No, somewhere near Miami. Near that area in Florida.
Lauderdale?
No, it was like a weird one that I never heard of. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone. But they went and saw them like 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about Muse, and I was like, oh, they just released a new album. I'm like, have you listened to it? He's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, I think he said no. And I'm like, don't. It's like garbage. He said, I haven't liked any of their newer stuff. But
yeah.
I was like, and then I told him about the Halloween song.
Yeah.
Because
you make me feel like it's Halloween.
Yeah. We were right next to a Spirit Halloween. He's like, wow, they're already open. And I was like, did you hear their Halloween song?
Yeah.
Because you're going to hear it
You're
in
gonna
there.
like it. I also was listening, and I'm going to recommend this album whenever it comes out, but Arctic Monkeys released a new single, and I posted on my story. I'm like, I'm absolutely chuffed right now. I'm right chuffed. I am.
Well, now you know what you guys can look forward to. When's
Yeah.
that album coming out?
October.
So stay tuned for October.
Yeah, stay tuned for October.
Gavin's recommendation.
I'm trying to learn the lyrics for this song, but it's there's a long intro. It's very good. I like this song a lot.
Sound like James Bond. Did you hear the intro of this new song? That's how Muse's new album.
I'm telling you, these football themes bring back so much nostalgia for me.
It feels like it's football season.
Yeah.
It's Muse's new song.
I remember we were only allowed to drink soda on football nights, which
We've
was
talked about you guys drinking soda a lot recently. I
yeah.
feel like.
But like we were anytime I heard it was like Sunday, Monday, Thursday were the only days we were able to drink soda.
And it was because of football.
Mhm.
What was that rule about?
It was because we'd get jacked up on soda. Like it
So-
would be, it'd be like 3 or 4 sodas.
Imagine 8-year-old Gavin popping open
Yeah.
a cold Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And listening to this.
And it's like,
And you were like,
and then it'd be
you heard it from your room.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And
"What's
then it was like the Sunday night theme song with Carrie Underwood.
I don't know that one. You gonna find it? You want me to?
Waited all week for Sunday night. I think that's the same general concept there.
I heard. Wait, maybe this is it. Oh, maybe this is
There's
it?
that one, but
Faith Hill.
There's no way.
no, it's this
Chowder.
one. It's this one here. Ready? I don't remember what the first year it was, but this was 5 years ago.
Jesus.
It's like
Christ.
every Sunday
sounds
night,
familiar.
MSNBC plays this like general. This is it.
I love it. So dumb.
And it's like CGI graphics and everything.
Oh, that's Pink. We might not want to get claimed.
Yeah, so
That's funny. And you would hear that, and you're like, soda.
yeah,
time.
and it was someone said it was the "I have school in 12 hours" theme.
Oh, that's funny.
Because that's
Right.
how school works.
And you were like, nah, man, it's soda time.
I'm like, it's soda time.
But folks, look what happened when you restrict your kids to sodas. Now
Yeah.
they drink it like it's goddamn water.
Yeah, Not.
It's not. They're gonna catch up.
It'll
They're
catch
gonna
up to him.
It'll catch up to him.
No, I mean,
Because like I don't drink.
It wasn't. It's nothing against my parents. I just. That was just.
I'm calling out your parents because I know they listen.
No.
See what this did? Now he's a constant. Now he's an addict.
Now.
Okay.
Now I'm a red pilled bastard.
He's a black pilled soda drinking son of a bitch. And look what you did to him. You malnourished him. You didn't give him soda. You gave him a kidney or liver disease. Can't remember which one. Could be both at this point. We don't know. We don't know what it could have been.
Listen, the kidney disease, it was okay.
I blamed that on your mom for malnourishing you. Well, I broke my neck, and my parents made me walk out of the trail for like a mile because they didn't know that I broke my neck. So, which I don't hold that against them, but they always are like
head sloshing around.
They're like always so upset about it. That's not really what happens when you break your neck, but
No,
but you know, make
is.
fun of it. That's really funny, Gavin. That's really funny to think my head is just bobbling around. It's broken.
Hey, what
really
are you listening
funny.
to? What are you listening to?
Because it's one solid bone that goes through, and if that snaps, your head is a goddamn barbell head. Really funny, dude.
So what are you listening to this week?
Fuck you. I'm just kidding. Have Mercy just released their EP.
Have Mercy.
I recommended one of their songs a few weeks ago when they were like, "Hey, we're back," even though they never really went away. But yeah, so their
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? I don't know.
They said that they were, disbanding, even though there wasn't really a band. And like I said, that guy did solo stuff, and then he was like, "Hey, we're coming back," and it's like, man, it's been like 2 years since you said you guys were.
We're done.
We're done. So whatever, they haven't really been gone. But new EP came out, and it's pretty good. It's the production quality is not there, but I think that's just because they don't really have the money for it. If I had to guess,
What's the name of the EP?
it's called Have Mercy. Have Mercy, Have Mercy. Self-title. Production quality is not quite there. It's good for what it is, though, I will say. Only 7 songs. They're all pretty good. The last song, though, is like up there with one of my favorite songs at the moment. It's called Strawberry Hill. Such a good song. Just very well written, very interesting. Has some like newer things in it that like just kind of like different, note styles and different like patterns of stuff. Just really cool. Just very interesting song. I Don't Want to Think of You and All Wait is very good. They're all very good songs, but Strawberry Hill is just like really, really stand out.
Is this a hardcore or emo band?
No, this is like, you would probably call it emo, but it's more like acoustic-y. Well, not really acoustic. It's more like soft rock.
Okay.
Like kind of in that alternative
Yeah.
soft-ish rock, because not all of it's soft, but very good. I recommended a Have Mercy album to you. Oh, you didn't even listen to it, I don't think. Which is fine. Make fun of me breaking my neck. And I need to tell that story on the podcast. I'll tell it for like the anniversary coming up in December. We can go walk down Lover's Lane and go see where I broke my neck.
Actually, I'm not sure we'd be able to access it right now. They've got a lot of construction going on down there.
Oh, shit, because of the Boardwalk Empire.
Mhm.
Damn. New HBO show coming out next year.
It's been out. It's like 3 seasons deep, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
that brings us to our next sponsor.
HBO Max, which is now going to be, what are they calling it now? Because the new guy got hired?
I don't know, Discovery HBO Max Plus?
Yeah, they're like renaming it, and they canceled.
Discovery HBO Max Plus.
They canceled the new Booby Doo movie, and they also canceled the Batgirl booty. But there's a new Hulk, She-Hulk movie. Goddamn liberals. Show, whatever.
And She-Hulk twerks with Meg Thee Stallion.
Why didn't they just call her Shulk? Just saying.
Make
Marvel.
Shulk great again.
Hey, Marvel, call me up, man. Call me up.
I've got good ideas.
Hey,
I've got good ideas.
I got good ideas. Hey, Disney, call me up and hire another QAnoner to be on your Star Wars show. Why don't you roll that outro?
Like that one girl on Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, but I don't know her goddamn name.
Who cares?
It was like Mia Menudo.
I don't think so. Well, everybody, thanks for listening to It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 79.
Mia Khalifa, I think.
Yeah, that's who. That's it. Everybody, look up Mia Khalifa Star Wars, and it will come up.
And she got blasted
And
away.
She got blasted by Star Wars, like lightsaber and everything.
What was that motion you just did there with
like
your hand?
lightsaber and everything, like went up in there.
No, you went like lightsaber.
No, like lightsaber and everything. So just like
I
that.
see you do a lot of things with your hands down there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's all right. Well, keep watching, keep listening. We'll be here. Keep listening to us. We'll be here. Keep sharing with your friends. Keep recommending. We'll be here. Keep sharing the clips around. We'll be here. Damn it, you won't be here.
I feel like I was finishing a thought earlier, and I can't remember what it was, but who gives a goddamn fuck? We'll be back next week with another...
The green? Goodbye, bye.